Welcome to a new chapter of your trusted corner for bold analysis and unfiltered star talk, Turkish Spotlight Secrets. In the labyrinth of performance, there's a line, fine, invisible, and fragile, that separates an actor's craft from their own pulse. But what happens when that border dissolves beneath the heat of set lights and the curiosity of millions? Today we step into the eye of a storm that has rattled the set of the series Arafta and shaken the private life of its brightest pair. Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel. What was meant to be a technical triumph, a kiss designed with poetry and precision, has turned into a catalyst for a human crisis the industry did not see coming. We won't be covering a mere quarrel after a take, we're here to map the anatomy of a breakdown. Before we pull back the curtain on Barış's simmering anger, Yağmur's surgical calm, and the whispers leaking from the most guarded trailers in Istanbul, a quick invitation. If you value fearless storytelling and thoughtful analysis, subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Tap the bell so you never miss a beat about the icons you follow. And if you want behind closed doors access to what unfolds after the director calls it a day, press the join button now. Your membership keeps this voice independent and relentless. From the start, the producers of Arafta knew the kiss between Barış Baktaş and Yağmur Yüksel would be the season's emotional summit. It was plotted weeks in advance, rehearsed with disciplined professionalism, and filmed with an intensity that, according to witnesses, felt almost sacred. Both actors dove deep, disappearing into their roles until even the crew, trained to keep distance, forgot they were watching choreographed beats. One lighting tech confided to us, it felt too raw to be only acting. The illusion, however, shattered the moment the director called, cut. What came next wasn't the usual teasing or relieved giggles of a team releasing tension. A heavy quiet took over, the kind of silence that presses on the chest and warns of approaching thunder. Barış, who has curated a reputation for restraint and a monkish focus on his craft, couldn't hide the turbulence stirring inside him. Sources say the first minutes after the take saw him in a sharp exchange with the directing team, measured voices giving way to hardened tones. His face didn't read like that of a satisfied performer, it was the look of someone who felt exposed, unguarded, and, for reasons still forming in the fog, deeply unsettled. The fury didn't burst and vanish, it spread like a spark catching dry grass. As soon as the scene teased online, social platforms turned into a coliseum. Thousands praised the natural pulse between Barış and Yağmur, calling the moment electric and real. Others, with the famished instincts of digital gossip, latched onto the idea that what we saw wasn't fiction but confession. They clipped frames, slowed down glances, and wrote threads crafting a narrative of secret feelings. That avalanche, insiders tell Turkish Spotlight Secrets, is where something inside Barış snapped. Those close to him paint the picture of a man marooned in the comments section, reading through the night, parsing every sentence, every pixel, every speculation about his mouth, his eyes, his hands. He felt his dedication to craft being swallowed by the appetite for scandal. Worn thin by a career often dwarfed by curiosity about his personal life, he hit a wall. He retreated into his dressing room, shut the door for hours, and began to mute, restrict, and block on social media. The visible moves of a person trying to wrestle back control of his own story. Is Barış's anger a shield for his art, or a tremor betraying something truer captured on camera? Let's take a breath together, Turkish Spotlight Secrets family. We forget, sometimes, that beneath designer looks and award night smiles are people trying to pilot their own storms. Do you think an actor has the right to bristle at the world's interpretations, or is that the toll fame demands? Is Barış's reaction the discipline of a purist, or does it hint at feelings neither script nor set could contain? Drop your sharpest theories below. And if this kind of layered dissection speaks to you, hit like and consider joining. Your support funds the investigations others would rather we avoid. On the far end of this emotional spectrum stands Yağmur Yüksel. While Barış churned in a vortex of frustration, she broadcast a composure some called frosty. But we at Turkish Spotlight Secrets read a strategy. Her lone official remark after the scene ignited was a needlepoint statement, "We're doing our job. The rest belongs to the audience." Crisp, polished, devastatingly efficient, a sentence meant to seal a door that his reaction had thrown open. Yet even the best mask can fissure under pressure. Rumblings from her inner circle suggest that Yağmur is not immune to hurt. It isn't anger about the anger, but disappointment at the fallout. She reportedly believes that amplifying the rage only stoked the fire, turning a crafted moment into a headline parade. For a woman who has fought to preserve her independence and the image of a self-possessed professional, this is a trap she never wished to enter. She sees a man struggling with the glare of his own success, and she fears the inferno might scorch them both. Is her calm indifference, or armor? A shield forged to protect what's left of a private life constantly under siege? Her choice to let the audience talk while she works could be apathy, or wisdom in an industry that punishes anyone who attempts to police perception. Either way, the difference between their responses is now a canyon unaided by publicists or PR lines. And the echo inside that space grows louder by the day. The most visible fallout of this fateful kiss is the distance many have noticed. Once frequent joint appearances, those easy outings where a shared glance said more than captions, have dried up. No candid shots after table reads. No overlapping stories on Instagram. No casual cameos in the same coffee spots. The silence itself has become an amplifier, screaming what no one wants to say out loud. People inside Arafta describe a set where the air has a frost you can feel. They talk about a professional stiffness cutting through the space between marks, about eye lines held for the camera and dropped as soon as the take ends. Barış, behind a wall of reserve. Yağmur, smiling as if courtesy had a measured distance. It's work executed with precision, but the warmth, on which great scenes are built, seems rationed, rare, at risk. And so the rumor engine runs. Is this a breakup, or a crisis of trust dressed in public silence? In Fame's kingdom, the absence of updates usually means the truth hurts to say. With each day they aren't seen together outside what's required by their contracts, talk grows teeth. Friends of friends whisper that schedules are being rearranged like chess pieces. No one wants to be the first to call checkmate. Behind the noise sits a bigger wound in the industry, the flattening of the artist into content. Those near Barış say his anger doesn't target only the crowd or his co-star, but the machine that refuses to accept acting as creation and insists on devouring it as confession. For him, the kiss was an offering to character and story, a risk taken to honor authenticity. To watch it diluted into evidence of a romance feels like a bruise to years of training and control. It's a pain that has no quick PR cure. Yağmur, on the other hand, seems to have made peace with the current she cannot turn. Not resignation, perhaps, but an understanding that the public will always go prospecting for the real heart under the costume. She won't swim against the riptide, she'll ride it and keep her footing. That core difference. His pursuit of art's purity, her pursuit of survival with grace, might be the invisible hinge on which their distance swings. Two philosophies colliding after one staged breath of intimacy. Dear community, thank you for making Turkish Spotlight Secrets the place where celebrity stories get the nuance they deserve. If you haven't joined our members-only circle, you're missing the after-hours breakdowns and context we share off the record. Click join to sustain our independence and help us keep the light aimed where others turn it away. Your membership is the shield that protects this space from compromise. We reach the edge of this chapter with fewer certainties than questions, but one truth stands. That kiss in Arafta shifted the course of two lives. What could have served as a crowning artistic moment has become a trial by fire for temperaments, boundaries, and a bond the public can't stop watching. Will Barış find a path back to trust, to the delicate agreement he once had with the gaze of the crowd? Will Yağmur find the patience, or the desire, to soften a man who feels betrayed by his own brilliance? Time will do what it always does. And the Turkish Spotlight Secrets team will keep listening where doors are cracked and stories breathe. For now, Istanbul won't blink. Not as they hit their marks under colder lighting. Not as publicists shuffle statements. Not as the internet replays seconds that were never meant to outlive the cut. If this story made you reconsider how thin the membrane is between craft and confession, like the video, share it with the Arafta faithful in your life, and subscribe to the channel. And one last reminder, your click on join keeps the Turkish Spotlight secrets flame burning bright, free, curious, and impossible to silence.